Hey, welcome back to another full workout video. Today we're going to be breaking down my full chest and tricep workout. If you're new to the channel, this is a series where I break down each one of my workouts in my 7-day split, and I go into detail explaining what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and any tips or tricks that I have to help you feel a better mind-muscle connection with these movements, to better target certain muscles and help you have a more effective, efficient workout overall. Like I said, today we're going to be breaking down my chest and tricep workout. So this is the full workout that I do on Mondays. I also repeat this on Thursday with a little bit of variation. As always, we're going to start the workout with a 5-minute warm-up on the stair stepper. We're going to get the blood moving. Now, you don't have to do the stair stepper. You do a stationary bike or walking incline, whatever cardio you prefer, but you just need to get your heart rate up, get the blood moving in your body before we start with our first set. After the warm-up, I'm going to use the band here to stretch out my pecs a bit and try to target a little bit more blood flow into my chest with these warm-up movements with the band. Now on Thursdays, I typically incorporate some sort of rotator cuff strengthening exercise with these bands, but I'm feeling good today, so I'm just going to stretch it out a bit and then slowly pyramid up in my weight on my first working set. And for our first set, we're going to be doing incline dumbbell press. From here, I'm going to grab the hundreds. I'm going to do somewhere around 4 to 6 reps. Again, just to get the blood moving into my chest before moving on to our first working set. When you start moving around heavier weight with the dumbbells, it really helps to have a spotter. I unfortunately do not have a spotter, did not have a spotter for this session. So being smart about how we get the weight up. If you don't have a spotter, I'm going to throw it up onto your knees here like I did, or you can start with it standing, sit down with the dumbbells on your knees. And from here, we're going to kick the dumbbells up into that starting position. I like to do them both at the same time. I know some people like to kick up one side and then the other. But if you can't get a spotter, grab a spotter for these because we're going to go pretty heavy. We're shooting for around 6 to 7 reps at an RPE of around 8 or 9. So we're pushing pretty close to failure here. So it helps to have a spotter. Again, 4 sets of these at 6 to 7 reps. I always start with my heaviest, most challenging compound movements first. And so I like to prioritize this incline because I'm trying to focus on building my upper chest. From there, we're going to move over to the decline machine. I love this decline machine. Decline gets a bad rap overall. And I think it's because of the short range of motion that a barbell would provide. But with this machine, because your hands are separated, there's no bar going across your chest. So it gives you that range of motion back on a decline pressing movement, which is why I really love this machine. Now, obviously not everyone has this machine at your gym. So if you don't have this machine, I think the next best option would be to do a decline dumbbell press where you can get a little bit more range of motion. But anyway, we're going to hit these for 4 working sets at 6 to 8 reps. Again, we're going to continue to shoot for an RPE of around 8 or 9. So that means we're leaving 1 to 2 reps in the tank. So we're going pretty close to failure on these. Keep it heavy, really push yourself on these heavy compound movements. Okay, after that, we're going to head over to an Incline Fly Machine. I love this machine because I don't have to set up a bench at a cable machine. It's just a pain in the ass, get in everyone's way, take up a cable machine, bring a bench over. So I really appreciate the gym for having this Incline Fly Machine. I'm going to load it up here. I'm going for around 8 to 10 reps, so a little bit higher than our previous movements, but still shooting for that RPE of around 8. So that last rep should be slowing down. And it should be pretty hard for you to get that final rep. A couple cues that'll really help you here. On the eccentric, as you let your arms come down as you fly backwards, you want to maintain closer to a 90-degree angle in your elbows. I see too many people letting their arms come straight out. That's going to shift tension from your chest and put it on your bicep, and you don't want that. So keep that bend in your elbows on the eccentric. Go back as far as you comfortably can. I'm trying to get a good stretch on the chest on the negative here, so I'm going back pretty far, but I am maintaining that bend in my elbow. From here, really think about pressing straight up, bringing your pinkies together and your palms together. You want your arms to be almost straight at the top of the movement. For me, again, thinking about bringing my pinkies together or the base of my palms together at the top of the movement really helps with chest activation. We're going to do these for 3 sets at 8 to 10 reps. All right, next up, we got a high to low fly. Again, we're on a machine for convenience, but also you see that little pad that I'm resting my head on. You don't get that when you do these with cables, and I really feel like it helps stabilize the rest of my body, helping me focus and isolate just my chest for this movement. So if you have access to this machine, definitely take advantage of it. A lot of times these handles will swing both ways, so you can do lateral raises with them, but you can also flip them up and do high to low flies with them. But regardless whether you're doing cables or the machine, you want to have a slight bend forward in your upper body. And again, on the eccentric, just like we did with our incline flies, we want to maintain that bend in our elbow on the eccentric as you're letting the weight come back. Same cues as you fly forward. Think about bringing your pinkies and the base of your palms together, bringing your arms almost completely straight. 3 sets of these, also at 8 to 10 reps. Okay, to finish up chest, we're going to go back to an incline pressing movement, and we're going to grab a machine. I prefer the machine where you sit straight upright and the handles go up and out away from you as you press. But any sort of incline machine press will do for this. I'm going to do 2 sets of complete failure. So 2 burnout sets, and we're going somewhere between 15 and 20 reps. So higher rep range. We're just going to pump these out. Slow and under control. Really focus on squeezing with your chest at the top of the movement and just thinking about burning them out completely. So 2 sets, as many reps as possible, making sure that falls between the 15 and 20 rep range. And that's going to do it for chest. We're going to move on to triceps next. And for triceps, I like to always start with an overhead extension movement. Recently, I've been enjoying doing just a standing overhead rope extension at the cable machine. I see a lot of people with these set the cable pulley up at the very bottom of the machine and then have to sort of like twist their way around and drop the weight. But if you pull that pulley up to around waist height, when you're gassed and can't get another rep, instead of trying to twist your way out of it, you can just let go of the rope and you don't have to worry about trying to finagle out of it. Just a little bonus tip there for you while you set up. But for these, we're going to make sure that our elbow and shoulder joint are in line. Our arms are straight up and down. And you don't want to see any play in your elbow joint here. So watch my elbows as I do these. It's not moving forward. It's not moving backwards. My shoulder and elbow are in line. They're straight up and down. And I'm letting the rope come down behind me a little bit to get that stretch on my triceps at the bottom of the movement. As I press up, I am at the top of the movement spreading the rope apart, really squeezing with my triceps, which you can't really see in this shot. But just know, as you extend your arms up at the top, do your best to sort of flare the rope outward at the top there before letting the weight come back down. So again, we're shooting for an RPE of around 8, so two reps max left in the tank for these, and we're going to be in the rep range of somewhere between 12 and 15 reps. I'll do 3 or 4 sets depending on how I'm feeling before moving on to a rope press down. So for the press down, we're going to stay at the same station, same rope attachment. We're just moving the pulley to the top. And for these, I'm going to take a hold of the rope about midway up, maybe a little bit downward of midway up the rope. We're going to stay mostly upright, a slight lean forward in your upper body here. And then as you press down, you're going to press down and out in front of you. And again, at the bottom of the movement, we're going to flare that rope apart. So twist your wrist sort of outward, flaring the rope apart at the bottom. If you look at the line of the cable, you'll see that it is exactly straight up and down. It's not at an angle either away from the machine or towards the machine. Set up so that when you press down and out, that line should be straight. This means instead of pressing down and backwards towards your body, you're going to press straight down and out in front of you. Again, same thing with these. We're going to shoot for an RPE of 8, 4 sets at somewhere between 12 and 15 reps. We're going to finish up hitting our triceps with a tricep dip. Again, I'm at a machine for convenience here, but you could do weighted dips as long as you keep your body upright and don't lean forward. So the more you lean forward on a dip, the more chest is activated. So you're going to want to stay upright if you're doing these as weighted dips. Another alternative, if you can't do a dip press down machine or don't have a dip station, can't do weighted dips, then you could do a close grip bench in its place here. But I love to burn out my triceps with these. I go pretty heavy, somewhere between 6 to 8 reps at 4 sets. And that's going to do it for chest and triceps. After all of that, I'm going to head over to the stair stepper and hit a cardio session somewhere between 30 and 40 minutes. I'm actually aiming for a calorie burn goal of somewhere between 300 and 400 calories each cardio session. If you're looking for something to listen to during your cardio session, throw on the most recent episode of the Perkfitt Podcast, which you can find on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or you can just watch it here on our YouTube channel. I will have a link in the description. But if you haven't checked out the podcast yet, definitely go check it out. I answer a ton of questions from followers. So thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed the video or thought it was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.